what you're saying is 100% wrong.
It's 100% wrong.
There's people out there who make 20 grand a year.
People are spending
people make 20 grand a year, and you think they save $2 a gallon and they put it in the bank? You don't think about the people out there who make 25 or 30 grand a year. You think that they're banking the extra $2 a gallon they're saving? They're spending it on their kids, and they're spending it on food.
See, anybody who doesn't live in New York doesn't know that this happens on the street every day. But the fur was flying right here yesterday when Charlie Gasparino and oil trader Elliott Warren squared off about what you, the consumer, are doing with your lower oil prices and lower gasoline prices and the money you've saved. Who's right on this? Because the perception that low oil prices benefit the U.S. consumer hasn't lately translated to what's been going on in the stock market. Joining me now, Stephen Schork, editor of the Schork Report. Okay, you get to decide. Charlie, Elliott, who was right on this one?
All in all, Charlie was correct, Liz. Look, the argument that fewer dollars spent at the pump gives me more dollars spent elsewhere, look, that's math. That is correct. You cannot argue with that.
Okay, then Elliott's right, no?
No, intuitively, it even makes sense. But it's only true, Liz, if we actually see it in practice. And this is the point. We haven't seen it in practice so far. Let's take 2015, for example. We had a 28% decline in retail gasoline prices. That's a great savings to everybody, right? That gives me more dollars now to spend elsewhere in the economy. But the problem is when you look at retail sales in the whole for 2015 in the control group, and this is the metric that the Fed likes to use to gauge consumer spending, 2015 was the second worst non-recession spending year ever, despite the fact that we had a 28% decline in prices. So yes, the math is correct. Fewer dollars spent on the pump gives me more dollars to spend elsewhere. Problem is, in the aggregate, we're not spending those dollars.
And things were getting a lot cheaper until today. I don't know how quickly this will translate to a spike at the pump, but oil jumped 8% today, even on the back of unbelievably bearish inventory numbers.
Yes.
Folks, for those of you who don't know, every Wednesday we get inventory numbers of what happened the previous week. And guess what? We saw a build of nearly 8 million barrels in oil. The expectation was 4.8 million. Gasoline, a build of nearly 6 million barrels. And normally that would, Stephen, translate into a drop in oil prices once again. Is this simply that we had a weaker dollar today? You got to tell us.
That's it. This is completely a dollar play. To your point with inventories. Inventories now of crude oil in the United States are above 500 million barrels, excuse me, for the first time since February 1929. For the first time since the St. Valentine's Day massacre. There was a lot of oil in this country. But it wasn't the DOE, it wasn't OPEC, it was the Fed driving oil prices higher today to go back with the dollar. Now, Liz, I just want to go back to one more point with regard to, because I think there was an issue about lower income people, but this is great for lower income people, that is the savings at the pump. Now, if that were true, I have a hard time reconciling the fact that why is Walmart, where the guy who's earning $25,000, that's where he's going to spend a lot of these extra dollars. Why is Walmart closing 154 stores this year in the United States and laying off 10,000 workers in the United States? So it goes to the point, I don't care what income strata you are at, we are simply not spending the dollars where we are. So now just to go back to our other point with regard to, yes, you cannot swing a cat in this country without hitting a barrel of oil. We are at peak storage capacity, and yet oil surged $2 today. That is simply because the Fed is waking up to the notion that the U.S. is on the cusp of recession, and a strong dollar is going to make it that much harder for manufacturers to export their way out of these doldrums.
Well, you're giving Charlie Gasparino the win. Somebody give Stephen Schork a black and white striped shirt and call him the ref. You get to play ref anytime, Stephen. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Stephen.